Tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you to Infrastructure New Zealand for the opportunity to open Building Nations 2023. This is a pivotal time for the infrastructure industry, and I know the sector's facing a number of significant challenges. Post-COVID-19, we've seen a surge in costs globally, supply chain problems, and a chronic workforce shortage. On top of that, we're facing a deficit in infrastructure investment that spans a number of decades, and that's translating into a skills shortage and a lack of long-term planning and maintenance at the most basic level. Our infrastructure is ageing and hasn't had the investment required to keep up with our growing population and the impacts of things like climate change. Recent extreme weather events have showed that the infrastructure that we do have isn't resilient enough in the face of growing climate change risks and increasing severe weather events. Following Cyclone Gabrielle, we saw firsthand what can happen to our vital infrastructure. We saw roads and bridges, as well as telecommunications and power, wiped out far too easily. That can't happen again. In Budget 2023, we released the Infrastructure Action Plan, confirming our commitment to long-term infrastructure that's resilient, equitable and sustainable, and the path to making this a reality. We also released our National Resilience Plan, and while this will initially focus on the rebuild following the cyclone, it will then extend to more medium to long-term infrastructure around the nation. We want to build smarter and better for New Zealanders. Through Budget 2023, we've invested significant resources into housing, education and infrastructure. We're continuing our investment into transport, including a resilient and reliable rail service. And we're investing in renewable energy and generation and storage. With the changes to our fiscal rules, we've been able to use our balance sheet more effectively to support long-term essential infrastructure investment. And we've invested $45 billion in infrastructure projects over the past 5 years. And in 2019, we established the New Zealand Infrastructure Commission to look at how our infrastructure is planned and resourced. We've committed a further $71 billion of infrastructure investment over the next 5 years. With all of this, we need to make sure that we're working with our partners, with iwi, with local government, and with you in the private sector to ensure good decision making, better outcomes and lower costs for New Zealanders. We also need to build the capacity and capability to deliver and maintain infrastructure. That means we need enough people with the right skills and capabilities in the right places who've got access to the training, support and the tools that they need. I want to acknowledge all of those here today. It's because of your dedication and commitment that we were able to respond to the severe weather events so swiftly. To get out there and ensure telecommunications were restored and bridges and roads could be opened long enough to get emergency supplies through to those who were affected. It's been a rough few years, but without you, we wouldn't be able to deliver on our commitments to build the infrastructure that we need. We're embarking on the long-term nation building that I believe a responsible government must do. We want to build smarter and better for the future, and we want to do it with you. So thank you for the chance to speak to you today, and all the very best for the conference. Ngā mihi nui.